Hey everybody, what is up? It is your boy Dixie Outlaw back again for another video. Now, in today's video, I actually got a new tool that I'm pretty excited about because I did a job today of installing a couple light bars and a couple light cubes for a person on their truck. The issue being is impact wrench of the actual 3/8 impact is about like yay big. The hole where I actually put the light cube at was about like yay big. Maybe a little bit bigger. Either way, it was not big enough to actually stick the impact wrench into there to be able to tighten down the bolt. Now, with that being said, I could have really used electric ratchet, as I call it. I don't know what the rest of y'all call them. I know what I call it. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to look at the box. It says ratchet wrench. A ratchet wrench. And I've been eyeballing this tool for a little while now. Been actually knowing that I needed this tool because this tool will make my life way easier on a lot of things. So today, I actually bought one with the money I made off putting the lights on there because the dude paid me more than what I wanted, what I asked for. So I had enough to take and get it, and that is this guy. Now, I've seen too many people, I've seen only one video on this, I do believe. And the person had mixed reviews about it, so to speak, they kept trying to compare it to Milwaukee, which honestly you can't do that. This is not Milwaukee. This is nowhere near in the same price bracket, or even in the same store as Milwaukee. Milwaukee, you have to go to certain stores to get it. This, you can go to O'Reilly's. So honestly, that I think is the stupidest thing in the world in and of itself. And two, this is only like, I think it was like 84 something, pretty much 85 bucks. And this thing only does 230 RPMs of no load speed. Ratchet has a 22 foot-pounds of max torque, built-in battery indicator. Compact 3/8 ratchet and wrench can fit into very tight spaces. It's a 12 volt system. I don't know if I said that already. No, I don't. I didn't read it anywhere in there. And honestly, it's got the same 1 hour quick charge. I do gotta say something about that though in this video. But it might have been my mess up, my fault. So we won't talk about that in today's video as well. So, before I get into this video, let me throw in some patches real quick. And this is going to be, I got to take and say this right away, this is going to be a first look at this tool and my first initial opinions. And then I will take and do a follow-up video after I use this a little bit and actually give my honest opinion about it, because I am really excited to use it. Probably going to use it tomorrow just to take and see what it's all about. Alright. Now, what I wanted to talk about real quick is right here it takes and says of how the light goes from red to green. My battery, for some reason, it didn't do that, and I had that thing on charge for well over an hour. On my impact I have, my 3/8 impact. I have no idea why it didn't, but it still works. The battery seems to be just fine, and it does the job. So even if that is something that's broken with it, where it doesn't actually tell you that it's done charging, I don't care. It doesn't bother me none. Now this came in the same style case as what the other one did. The only thing that feels a little bit different, which I could be mistaken, is the little latch. They feel a little cheaper on this one, but I also don't care for about 85 bucks. Came with another charger. I have no issues with that. And then it came with the impact. And it also came with the same instructional little booklet that this even goes further to prove, like I was saying in my other video, people are idiots, because right here, literally just, you open up the book, because it's got the thing on the one side that takes and tells you all the things, and then literally right here, it takes and tells you about spare batteries. Which really makes me lead to believe the guy that did a video on this just took and saw the instructions and threw them away. Or the owner manual. Now, I do have one big issue with this so far. And it's mainly because I know for a fact I've heard plenty of them that were not this loud. I kind of feel like I have to scream over top of this thing. I don't like that. I do like the handle on it though. It's very comfortable. And also, I don't see what the dude was talking about. This flexes a lot. I mean, I'm going to take a bit to see more in detail when I actually start using this. And it does actually ratchet. It's a little bit taut. Probably easier to do if I actually had a socket on this thing and had it on a bolt. There we go. So it does work, and it's actually got a nice little F and R, forward, reverse. I think this is forward and this is reverse. I'll figure it out eventually. Now, as to like the tool itself, it actually seems pretty slim, pretty nice. The only other thing I hate on this one, and this is a very small thing that doesn't really bother me too much, is this indicator is a very confusing indicator. I don't know if this thing tells me it's fully charged or if it needs to charge. And the only other issue I have with this, and this is kind of a little bit of a bigger issue, is there's no speed control on this thing whatsoever. Literally, if I press the trigger just a little bit, it goes. On the other one, my actual impact, my 3/8 impact, has way better trigger control. And it seems to stop better too. This, if you watch, it takes a second for it to stop. I mean, these are all small things. The only other issue I'd take and foresee is possibly this being sticking up so high might catch on something. Honestly, for everything I'm probably going to use it for, though, is probably going to do the job and then some. And again, though, I should take and say this with the biggest emphasis in the world of, I know it only does 22 pounds of torque. If you're getting this into a hole, that normally means that you got at least enough room to be able to go and be able to bust the bolt loose. Wow, that trigger is very sensitive. This is something new I just noticed. It's going to be sitting in a toolbox, in a drawer for the most part, and on top of a counter, or I mean on top of a workbench any other time, or just sitting down somewhere, so I ain't too worried about that. But the chance of you actually using this in a space where you cannot move the ratchet whatsoever is pretty slim. For one. For two, 22 pounds is actually a good bit of torque for a lot of things. honestly, with this tool combined with my other one, I don't foresee me needing to probably bust out a ratchet anytime soon. If I do somehow break this though in the near future, I would definitely let y'all know. However, from how the other one does, I don't foresee me breaking this in the near future. If anything, I foresee this being just as good as the other one because I actually had a mechanic buddy that took and even agreed with me about the other one that it seems really well made and it does a banger job because when I used it today, I did a no-no with it, but that's just because I felt a little bit lazy. And I did loosen up battery terminals with my impact, but believe it or not, because it has you squeeze the trigger a little bit, it goes a little bit, I was able to tighten it down a little bit. The thing I like about this, however, is I can tighten it down just where it gets a little snug, and I can use this to actually finish it off. Second of all, when I was I wasn't the only one that used the impact today. The customer actually that was down at the shop with me, which he seemed like a pretty okay dude. He took in, asked if he could use my tools real quick to tighten up his headlights while I was working on the wiring for him for the light bars. So I took him to find it, and he took and tightened up everything he needed to tighten up with that thing with no dang issues. I do, however, have a big mess to clean up down my garage because by the time I got done with everything, it took me about a good 5 hours. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, that took you way too long to actually do the job. There was a whole bunch of talking going on, for one, and for two, trying to actually decide exactly where he wanted them took more time into that, and just the simple fact of I was using hand tools and also trying to make sure I did the wiring right. And wiring is not my strongest forte in the world, so then trying to actually recalculate through my brain, okay, what is what, that's why it took as long as it did. Also trying to figure out exactly where we wanted the light bars, because at first he wanted the switch to be up in the head area, and then I took and talked him into putting it on the dashboard below the steering wheel because it's a whole lot better of a place for it. And so on and so forth. So, no, I know the job could have gone quicker. I know I could have done it in probably an hour or two. But the job got done. I had a happy customer that is going to be coming back again. Now, onto this though. Honestly, I love the grip. I like how easy it is to hold in a couple different ways if I wanted to. Only other little pet peeve I got that might become an issue down the road is, I don't know if you can see that wire in there, right there. That is way closer to the motor of the actual spinning parts than what I am comfortable with. So if that ever becomes an issue, I will open this up and try to move that wire a little bit just to make it not be an issue. But this thing definitely would have came in handy way more with doing the job today than what I actually had. Because of the fact of I hated trying to do it with the ratchet, I ended up with pretty much two boxing wrenches cramming one up into the area, and this would have came in real handy just to be able to stick on the top and be able to zing it down. But like I said, I will be doing an update video on this in the near future. Well, not the near future, but after I use it a little bit. Because the equivalent of me using this thing a few days is normally the equivalent of somebody using it a week. Because I'm not gentle with my tools, especially something that cost me $80, which really is not that big of a issue. But so far, I do like a lot of things with it. I wish it was a little bit quieter, but my impact is loud as hell when I actually start using bolts too, so really ain't much to be said about that. I am going to, however, when I do an update video on this, I am going to do an update video on my rotary tool, my cordless one, because I don't know if the battery's dying on it, what the issue is with it, but I am having issues with it, and I'd rather show it than take and tell about it, because it gave me some headaches today, and I'm glad I did not have to use that to cut into a bumper with, because that would have took me forever. I think that's all I really got to take to say in today's video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of my future uploads. And this has been your boy, Dixie Outlaw, and I am signing off, y'all.